A Florida Karen was arrested for nearly running over a teenager on an e-bike. A Florida man urinated on $10,000 worth of Spam inside a Sam's Club. A Florida Attorney General pitches alligator Alcatraz to hold migrants. And an argument over mangoes ends with a Florida man pulling a gun. These are the weird stories on Friday on Weird AF News. They're all from the state of Florida, because on Friday I only do weird news from Florida, as you know. Or maybe you don't know, but now you know. It's Florida Friday on Weird AF News. A Florida Karen nearly runs over a teenager in her road rage. A Central Florida teen was tailgated by a speeding SUV in this disturbing case of road rage in Florida. 14-year-old Gage Ellis. Gage is a name. Okay, that's a name now. Gage Ellis. Wow, these white people names are getting out of control. 14-year-old Gage Ellis was riding his e-bike in the Palm Coast when he was being chased down a multi-use path by an SUV. So it sounds like this woman went off the actual street and chased him down a path for bikes and walking. Here's a quote from Gage. "She was chasing me home, which was a very traumatic experience because I wasn't expecting that at all, because I felt safe in both my friend's community and on that bike path typically, but then she chased me all the way home." Investigators confirmed 65-year-old Florida woman Julia Katoff was behind the wheel of her SUV. She told the police she was angry at the teenager for going too fast on the e-bike and wanted to find out where he lived so she could talk to his parents. Typical Karen. Karen wants to talk to the manager. Who's the manager around here? Who's the manager? Nothing's going to stop Karen from talking to the manager. She'll go off-roading to talk to the manager. Imagine showing up to a parent's front door, explaining one adult to the other how you just went off-roading because you were following their child home because their child traveled on their bike faster than you approve of. I mean, that's basically the breakdown of how this goes on. It's unbelievable. The problem with Karens is they simply can't accept that they don't have authority over anybody except their own children, their husband. If they own a business, then their employees, or if they own property, their tenants. The rest of the population is free, and they just can't handle the fact that it's out of their control. It's so funny to watch them have meltdowns. I mean, it's not funny in cases like this where a teenager could have easily been ran over. All right, back to the story. There's a witness who said that the SUV was hot on the teen's heels, getting within about 6 feet from him. That witness apparently put his own vehicle in the way during the chase, bringing an end to the wild and dangerous escapades, and so that the teenager could get back home to his parents. Here's a quote from a woman. "I'm super glad, super excited, so very thankful for the witness. Can't thank him enough for stepping in and helping him." That must be his mother. Is Gage's mother? Gage says, quote, "When I came home, I was literally shaking. As for the Florida Karen, she's been released on $3,000 bond. So she's back out there on the road, just making sure that people drive the speed limit, Just making sure you don't go over the speed limit out there. Careful. You got to be a special kind of maniac and ignorant to get involved in road rage incidents these days, because people are getting out of their cars and fighting. And they're bringing guns out and they're shooting. I've watched various videos on the socials featuring road rage incidents that have really gone south, and people are ending up in the hospital and or dead. What I'm saying is, if you're a Karen, maybe limit your Karening to, Home Depots. Don't be doing it on the roads, silly. Or do it on the roads. Do it on the roads. Play your stupid games and win your stupid prizes out there.
Yes?
A Florida man is arrested for urinating on $10,000 worth of Spam in a Sam's Club store. That's called adding the special Floridaman sauce, and they do that in every store down in Florida. So just be thankful it was a canned meat and not the produce this time. This story about lovely human behavior is out of Orlando, Florida. A Florida man may need more than toilet paper to clean up his legal mess. Good joke right up top from this author. That's because this Florida man is accused of urinating in the aisle of Sam's Club, causing more than $10,000 in food to be thrown away. Thrown away? Isn't it canned meat? Can't you just run that under a faucet and put it back out into the canned meat aisle? Nope, no, Jones, you can't do that because of lawsuits and regulations. Oh, my bad. Let's get into the arrest affidavit because I'm sure there's some just really enjoyable details. The incident happened at the Sam's Club in Lady Lake, Florida. Never heard of Lady Lake. It's Lady Lake where Florida man's peeing on the canned meat. In Lady Lake, the Florida man is urinating on the Spam. Whenever Florida man has to really go pee, he likes to do it in Sam's Club in aisle 3. Come on, guys. That's a good Bob Dylan parody that I just made up right on the spot. What do you want? Okay, back to the details. A woman was shopping at the Lady Lake Sam's Club. I almost called it a Costco. Sam's Club. Although, don't discount Florida man. He'll pee at any club. Costco, Sam's Club, the Country Club, the Mickey Mouse Club. Florida man don't care. Okay, so a woman was shopping that morning at the Sam's Club, noticed the Florida man, later identified as Patrick Francis Mitchell, appearing to relieve himself in aisle 18, home to Vienna sausages, canned Spam, and other canned goods. I love that. Home to Vienna sausages and the canned Spam and other canned goods that he was urinating on. And now it's attention Sam's Club shoppers. There's now a big sale on Spam and Vienna sausages in aisle 8. Don't smell the cans, just buy the cans. Use gloves to touch the cans if you have them. Now, give it up to this Florida woman because she saw the man urinating on the Spam, and she took a photo with her phone and notified employees. In addition, surveillance footage inside the store recorded the Florida man walking up to 2 pallets of canned meat, placing his hands in front of him and below his belt line, standing there for several seconds. He then walked to the snack section, sat on some patio furniture for 10 minutes, then walked to the registers where he paid for some items and then left. How strange. He actually bought some items in there after peeing on the canned meat? What a very conflicted Florida man. On the one hand, he has no problem just urinating on goods inside the store, but then he's like, you know what, I can't shoplift, though. That's where I draw the line. I'm a good Christian, after all. Well, the Sam's Club managers, you'll be happy to know, acted fast. They inspected the damage and confirmed that 2 pallets of canned meat, making up totally 188 units of canned Vienna sausages and 345 units of canned Spam Classic, were covered in the urine. Behavior, as they call it, consistent with urination. It's consistent with urination. In other words, it's been peed on. I was at a dog park yesterday. How would you describe the dog park? Well, I would say it was there was some behavior consistent with urination. I've never heard this said like that before. Hilarious. And not so bad considering what the behavior of a Florida man is typically consistent of. What it could be. Consistent of smoking out of a meth pipe and then trying to buy your child at a Sam's Club. Okay, back to the story. The managers inspected the damage. It was consistent with the behavior of urine. They call that a code yellow in aisle 18, I believe. Now, all in all, $10,584.84 worth of canned meat had to be thrown away, according to the managers of the Sam's Club. Wow, $10,000 worth of canned meat? That's a lot of urine. This guy really had to go. I don't think I could ever pee $10,000 worth of damage. Today, when I woke up, had to pee really badly. I probably peed about $6,000 worth of canned meat damage. In college one time, should I tell this story? Nah, we're not going to do that. I want to keep my podcast after all. Okay, so the managers, this is how they handled it. They simply looked up the man's name and address using his Sam's Club membership. Wow, the detective work. I mean, you're doing this at a club, a place that has your information on file because you have to you apply and you get a membership. I mean, of all the stores to do it in, bro, it's the wrong one. Do it in a Walmart. Are you stupid? Anyways, the Sam's Club managers gave the information to the authorities, and what did you think happened? Well, the man was obviously arrested and booked. This guy should be thankful the cops got to him before Hawaiians did, because if you pee on Spam in Hawaii, that's you're going to jail forever. They really love Spam in Hawaii. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but you are now. Okay, so what happened to the canned meat urinator? Well, He was issued a $3,000 bond, released the next day, according to the records. Of course, this is Florida. They don't keep anybody in the jail. See, the point is to keep them. I mean, anybody can take a reservation. The point is to hold the reservation. The article ends with reiterating that Sam's Club threw out all of the canned meat that day, which just seems like such a waste. Not that you could just resell it at the store, but couldn't you give it away to, I don't know, homeless people or something? I'm sorry, the houseless, what are they calling them? The unhoused. The unroofied? The unroofed, not the unroofied. My bad. The uncastled? The unapartmented. That sounds like it. The unapartmented? The uncondoed? Now we're getting somewhere. The unlofted. The unpalaced? All right, now I'm getting ridiculous.
The NBA playoffs are here, and I'm getting my bets in on FanDuel. Talk to me, Chuck GPT. What do you know?
All sorts of interesting stuff, even Charles Barkley's greatest fear.
Hey, nobody needs to know that.
New customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in Virginia. Must be first online real money wager. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Well, there's egg and bacon, egg, sausage and bacon, egg and spam, egg, bacon and spam, egg, bacon, sausage and spam, spam, bacon, sausage and spam, spam, egg, spam, bacon and spam, spam, sausage, spam, bacon, spam, tomato and spam, spam, egg and spam, baked beans, spam. Or lobster thermidor or crevettes with a Monterey sauce garnished with truffle brandy with a fried egg on top and spam. Have you got anything without spam? Well, there's spam, egg, sausage, and spam. That's not got much spam in it.
A Florida attorney general pitches Alligator Alcatraz as a place to hold some migrants. Wait, I thought that's what Florida already was, just a giant alligator prison. Serving up a meth breakfast every day at the old alligator prison. Okay, let's get serious. Serious? This is the Florida Friday episode, Jonesy. Serious. We have Florida Attorney General James Uthmeier pitching a new facility in order to hold immigrants in the Everglades called Alligator Alcatraz. Now, he said this in a video. Can you imagine? You're the Attorney General. First of all, you have this cockamamie idea, which is completely unprofessional, and I believe illegal to have an alligator prison. Nonetheless, you then go and say it on camera, on a video. I mean, just the levels of buffoonery in an attorney general. He said it in a video that was posted on social platform X that the location, quote, presents an efficient, low-cost opportunity to build a temporary detention facility because you don't need to invest that much in the perimeter. If people get out of the facility, there's not much waiting for them other than alligators and pythons. I mean, this is an attorney general. Can you imagine? This guy went out and passed a bar, and then this guy got elected. People voted for this guy, Alligator Alcatraz guy. You got an idea? You just build like a big moat, and you just fill it with pythons and alligators, and you put the immigrants in cages inside the moat circle. This could be good. We're clearly living in a dystopian surrealist novel, and if you didn't already know, this story should convince you beyond a shadow of a ludicrous Florida doubt. This article says the 39 square mile site is located at the Miami-Dade Collier Training and Transition Airport. The Attorney General idiot estimated the facility could be up and running within 30 to 60 days of construction and house up to 1,000 immigrants who entered the country illegally. He said, quote, "This presents a great opportunity for the state of Florida to work with Miami-Dade and Collier counties." Yeah, that's one way you can work with counties on some sort of medieval torture facility. That sounds amazing. Meanwhile, what percentage of Miami-Dade is Latino? Let's ask that question, shall we? Before you pitch your alligator unit. Now, it says, according to the Attorney General, this property's perfect because it has an airstrip that can be used to fly in the immigrants. You're surrounded by immigrants right there, bro. You're in Miami. Are you... Is this guy okay or what? Uthmeier has taken a staunch conservative stance on immigration. No way. Get out of here. and he's no doubt a devout Christian. I mean, what would Jesus do? Jesus would build an alligator python moat, obviously. And why stop there? Just make this a TV show. Call it the Gator Games, Escape from Alcatraz. People love those sorts of shows, Hunger Games, Squid Games. But I think it'd be way more fascinating to put Florida lawmakers, real out-of-shape individuals, in the alligator Alcatraz and see if they can escape. Who's with me? An argument over mangoes leads to a Florida man pulling out a gun. What a surprise. Solving the problems with the pistols. It's like the Wild Wild West. The Wild Wild West. It is literally like the Wild Wild West in Florida. An argument over mangoes, the delicious fruit, ended with a Florida man pulling out a gun on another Florida man and telling him, quote, "I'm going to shoot you." A phrase you often hear in Florida, the state where you can conceal carry a gun without a permit. Yeah, you heard that right. We have here a Florida man, Rodrigo Mendizabal. I'm going to call him Papa Mango. He's 29 years old. He's been accused of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on a person 65 or older after Papa Mango got into a fight with another man who was picking mangoes off a tree. Papa Mango don't want you picking your mangoes off Papa Mango's tree. You leave Papa Mango's mangoes all to himself. The elderly man was driving by a Miami home when he saw a mango tree outside. This is according to the police report. He decided to go to the home and ask to pick some of the mangoes. Police said a woman who greeted him allowed him to take some mangoes. Okay. Yeah, mangoes grow all over the place down there, so they probably have more than they can handle. I don't know how many mangoes a tree produces, but it's probably a lot. I do love mangoes, though. One of my favorite fruits. I had one this morning. It was a yellow mango. I got it from Sprouts. That's $5 for 5 yellow mangoes. Pretty good deal. They're not organic, but, I don't have organic produce money right now, so. Okay, back to the story. The man pulls over, asks the woman, can he pick some mangoes? Then it just says the woman became impatient and then called the Florida man, Papa Mango Mendizabal, to find out what was taking the man so long. Well, I mean, he's 65 years old, right? I mean, there's no picture of him, but, give the man some time. He's 65 years old. It probably takes him a while to get up on his toes like that. Maybe the mangoes weren't dangling low. Something else was dangling low, but these mangoes weren't dangling low. Nonetheless, the woman became impatient with the elderly man, and she called Papa Mango to find out what's taking so long. As he comes out with his 6-shooter. I reckon I need to find out what's taking this man so long. Might have to blast. It says here, Papa Mango confronted the man, who explained he had permission to pick the fruit from the lady, and the woman confirmed she allowed him to take 2 or 3 mangoes. As the man walked to his car to leave, Papa Mango followed him and pulled out a black gun, according to police. Papa Mango racked the slide of the gun and told the man, "I'm gonna shoot you." I feel like we're missing information here, like crucial information. First of all, what's the relationship between the woman and Papa Mango? And did the elderly man, take too many mangoes? Was it not just a few mangoes? Did he pull one of those tricks? You know how some people are like, "Hey, can I have some of your lemons?" And then you're like, yeah, go ahead, have some lemons. And then they whip out one of those Trader Joe's canvas bags and like they're a magician, start filling it up. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. I said you could have a couple. What are you doing? People do that. Again, we need this information. I mean, and even if he did take too many mangoes, it doesn't justify pulling a gun on him and cocking it and saying, "I'm going to shoot you." The age-old question, is a gun necessary? The answer in Florida, apparently yes. Always. Affirmative. Gun is necessary. Did you take 4 mangoes when I said you could only have 2? Gun. Did you use my driveway to turn your car around? Gun. Didn't give me enough hot sauce for my burrito at the drive-thru? Gun. Okay, the police say that Papa Mango allowed them to review his Ring camera footage. Okay, his Ring camera, so he's at the home as well with the lady. The camera footage showed him grabbing a gun from his pocket. The man continued to approach his car, and Papa Mango followed him. Papa Mango opened the man's passenger door and pointed the gun at him before he asked to be allowed to drive off. Okay, so it's all on the camera. I'm wondering, what was Papa Mango thinking when he was like, "Yeah, you want my Ring footage? Go right ahead." Oh, you mean that video that was shot from my front door that clearly shows me pulling a gun on the elderly man that came to pick some mangoes? Police say that the ring footage even showed Papa Mango racking the slide of the gun near the man's car. Papa Mango had to be arrested, was arrested on the assault charge and an improper exhibition of a firearm charge. Hilarious that this is a law in Florida. Improper exhibition. Let me tell you something, Florida. The fact that you allow anybody and everybody to carry the gun on them without a permit, you're guilty of improper exhibition. Florida, where the Second Amendment is the only one left.
You're listening to Weird AF News, now with more spam.
Hi, my friends, loyal listeners. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Florida Friday. And a big shout out to those of you who decided to help out with the episode by sending me links to great Florida news from the past week. Super helpful. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. I think I did one of the better Florida Friday shows I've ever done, actually. Thanks to the Monty Python scene and the Bob Dylan parody. You never know what you're going to get on Weird AF News. It might be stupid. All right, I got some reviews that I want to read on Amazon, and they're quite lovely, but there's a few of them. They all just kind of poured in. I assume because I read that terrible review that I got the other day from somebody who gave me 1 star, some moron. Okay, so first up we have J Rad, who gave me a 5-star review because J Rad is generous. The J stands for generous. Okay, the title is Start Every Day the Right Way with Weird AF News. Every morning kicks off with a laugh thanks to Jonesy's hilarious take on the world's strangest headlines. His quick wit and sharp commentary get me in a good mood and ready to take on anything the day throws my way. What makes this podcast even better is the amazing community of weirdos who call in, share stories, and support the show by caffeinating or feeding Jonesy 100 grand bars year after year, just like I have. It's more than a podcast. It's a weird and wonderful little family. Keep it weird, Jonesy. You keep it weird, J-Rad. Amazing. Keep sending those 100 grands. I ate one yesterday, actually. They're in my fridge. I'm doling them out slowly. I'm like 1 a week is my reward. Okay, Noah Waikiki gave me 5 stars and wrote, Jonesy is my hero. Me likey long time. Oh, man, you set me up. I'm going to get canceled now for saying me likey long time. Anyways, Noah writes, first podcast ever really listened to, my psychotic ex hated it. I knew then and there it was my bag, baby. He's not during cancer or anything. I think you meant curing. He's not curing cancer or anything, but it's honestly crucial for as fake as his jokes are at times, he be more real than many. Last of the Mohicans. I'm in the Aloha state. He reaches all corners of the globe. Good luck with your life, man. Oh, Noah's in the... No, oh, so I get it. Noah Waikiki in the Aloha state. Where spam is $10 a can over there. Noah will tell you. Spam is... it's the official meat of Hawaii. Okay, now we have Tyler T. Gave me 5 stars. Hilarious daily weird news. Jonesy is awesome. He's been doing this thankless job every day for so long. He always has hilarious news stories that I don't hear elsewhere and is one of the few podcasters, hosts that can randomly make me laugh out loud. Thank you, Jonesy. Keep doing what you're doing and good luck with your life, man. That was a very sweet, awesome review, Tyler. Thank you so much. Just got right to the point. Really sweet. Oh, man. Lovely reviews. I'm such a lucky guy. Look at these supporters. Frederick W. Curtis gave me 5 stars and wrote, makes every day better. So Jonesy told me that he has terrible reviews on Amazon, which is crazy to me because I think he is awesome and give him 5 stars. Exclamation point. Thank you for making all my days better. Jonesy, have a great life, man. Thank you, Fred. Appreciate these 5 stars. Fred is surprised that people would give me terrible reviews, but I mean, Fred, have you seen the world lately? I mean, this is what's going on. Okay, one last review from Nasira, the author. I've covered Nasira on the podcast before because she's been very generous and supportive of me. I even read the titles of some of her books because she's a legitimate author. I have a couple listeners that are legitimate authors. Shout out to Christy as well. Okay, 5 stars. Love me some Jonesy in the morning. I love this podcast show. It is amazing how the human condition that is all based on actual events can be so funny. I am not mad at him at all for what he brings to the table in the way of comedy. It's a good day in the neighborhood when Jonesy's around. How sweet. I like that quote, by the way. It's a good day in the neighborhood when Jonesy's around. I'm very flattered and thankful that I have a neighborhood to be around. So we need community in this world, you know. And so I think side dishes, I would say, of this podcast, if I may be so poetic. One of the side dishes is this sense of community that is here. Some people just listen and go away, obviously, but then there are many listeners who are here for the long haul. They participate, they write into the show, they join the Patreon, they communicate with other listeners, they join the Weird AF News Fantasy Football League, which I will be doing again. And they write me lovely reviews, buy me coffees, write notes. I mean, it's kind of, on some level, a little bit of a love fest, because there is a community here, which is nice. We all need that, We all need community, which is why, some people go to church, some people join sports teams. I get community from this podcast, but I also am a member of a couple of softball teams, and I play pickleball a little bit. So I get my community, and I'm a member of a whole community of comedians out here in LA, which is nice. So, I often bash church a bit, or I bash Christians on here, but I recognize the sort of the practical function of joining a religious group, and that is, it does provide community in a time where we need that. So, just don't let them pick your pocket too hardcore, okay? And don't let them touch your wife. That's where it gets, we need to draw some lines, okay? Boundaries, people. It's called organized religion boundaries, and if you're going to be belonging to one, you should have them. And you should know the signs. You should know the signs. Anyways, thanks to everybody who wrote me these delicious reviews. You can always leave me a review on Apple Podcasts and Amazon, of course. And I always appreciate it. And I will read the reviews, as I always do, whether they are good or bad. If you would like to support the show, you can go to weirdafnews.com, where you can buy me a coffee to keep me caffeinated, and join the Patreon to keep the lights on and the microphone running, if you would like to do that. Keep me in this closet, pumping out these episodes. Yeah, check out weirdafnews.com, or just tell a friend over the weekend to check out Weird AF News. Make sure you mention this particular Florida Friday episode, which I think is a banger, as they say. It's a freaking banger, for sure.